Hello YouTubers, this is Altimus Prime G1. I have a review for you of Shockwave from Fall of Cybertron. Now, very purple and very G1 looking to me. I know he's a flying cannon thing, but it's very G1 to me. He's got the G1-ish piece right here, which is very interesting. The purple is awesome on here. I love the purple highlights. Well, I can't say purple highlights. The whole thing is purple, so, but I really like the purple. It's a really nice purple. See a lot of undercarriage stuff going on here. It is a very... There's not a lot of plastic in this line for some reason. I'm not sure why. As far as size goes, it's not too bad compared to the other deluxe lines. Here's the Seeker mold. Another Seeker mold. Well, not Seeker, but airplane flying mold. I have quite a few deluxes that I'm going to compare him against, just to show you that he is in line with the basic size deluxe. I mean, he's thinner, but he's about in line. Hound feels heavier, but he's really in line with the size. (2007) movie Bumblebee. Heck, I'll even throw a Beast War in. Now, the reason I'm showing all these different sizes is for a reason. There's been lots of people complaining about the size of these figures, whereas they are smaller than the they're smaller than the War for Cybertron figures, but they're really in line with other deluxes out there, and that's what I'm trying to show. When they're in robot mode, they're about the same general size as the rest of the deluxes. The size is pretty much there. There doesn't seem to be as much plastic in the Fall for Cybertron line, but the actual size of the figure is about roughly the same, and that's why I brought these other ones in to show you, just to go through different lines in different years to kind of show that really the size hasn't changed much. If anything, the War for Cybertron were bigger, and some of the movie lines were actually bigger, starting with the 2007 Transformers movie line figures, like Bumblebee is slightly taller than this figure, but we'll get into that. So he has a fairly simple transformation. I'm a little disappointed that he wasn't a Voyager class, but let's get to his actual transformation. It's fairly simple. You open the legs, pop this, well, we'll do that next part. You see how the gun's right here. This will be his gun. The odd thing, the front of his legs are actually, it's a fake gun of what his actual gun looks like. It's interesting, but it would be nice if we had the actual front there and had it or at least had this part translucent in here to show that in the flying mode. But it's okay. It looks fairly decent when it's all together. Anyway, we split this part. The hands are back here. You pull those down. You pull the hands to the side. This piece, this actually, I don't know if you can see it, detail here, but this is actually the a fake head. When you pop this around, you get the real head. Comes right up. This actually comes off fairly easy. This comes off fairly easy. It just slides right on there. Now that we have the head up, we pop it in the tabs here for his shoulders. You swing the arms around. Wings come up. Arms down. In here's a tab. Comes out for his hand. Now here's where I'm going to stop, because you can do that on the other side. Over here, you can do that right over on this other side. But there's a reason I'm not going to do that. And if you've seen other videos, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to pop this off back here. This just slides right back on. Just to find the right groove. This has 3 different holes. Only one of them is big enough for this top one here, so it goes on a certain way. So we pop this, and there's actually, he can hold it in his hand through this peg. But if you want a more accurate shockwave where his gun is part of his hand, you just line the peg up with this right here, slide it on, and you have what I call more accurate. And these are his feet, so they just come down. And there you have a really nice robot of Shockwave. Now he's lacking in the legs, but that's alright. I'm not sure if I'm going to show this or not here. No, probably not going to. It's the light piping in his eye. It's just, I don't know how well that's coming through. But he has really nice light piping in his eye. That light looks like it's like, when you get light behind it, it really lights up. I don't have my little flashlight here to demonstrate it, unfortunately. Okay, so we're going to go show you the comparisons. But before I do that, there's one other thing I want to show you. I forgot to transform part of his leg. And I'm doing this before I get a bunch of comments say, you didn't transform that. It does feel his bottom leg here a little thicker. So, just bring those panels down right from here to there. It makes his bottom leg look a little thicker from the sides, and not so much from the front, but whatever. Okay, so now we're going to do a size comparison. We'll start with the Beast War, just because he's the oldest figure I have probably for doing a size comparison, other than G1s, and G1s really aren't a fair size comparison because they're all over the place with their sizes. But with Beast War, I don't know if you can see it, but they're roughly about the same size. When you look head to head, they're roughly about the same size. Actually, his head might actually be a little lower than his. So, for people to say that the deluxes have shrunk, if you're looking at the more recent ones, they've shrunk from those. But if you're looking across the line, they're in line with the line. I mean, to me, they have a little less plastic going on, but it all depends on the figure too. So, but they're all about the same height. I didn't bring the other ones here to demonstrate them because if you want to see them side by side with other ones, there's plenty of other reviews out there. I'm mainly doing this to show the figure and then showing that the size is actually within the size limits. Or the general size for this deluxe line. Here you go, the Seeker mold. I gotta fix that wing, but other than that, right in line with the Seeker mold. Here's a newer deluxe that came out not that long ago. A remake of one of the other ones, but it's still a deluxe mold, still within those same sizes. I mean, he has a lot more stuff on his back going on, but within the same height. Hound, still within the same height. Now the only one that's a little bigger, really, is the movie line. And that's where they started getting bigger, I think, before they started shrinking them down again. And even that's only a slight difference. As you can see, it's only a slight difference. It's enough for one I gotta raise the camera a little bit, though. As you can see, it's only a slight difference, so that's not even really that bad either. So that's him in the picture there. Okay, so pretty much same size. It's pretty much the same size. But you can see that the War for Cybertron and the movie line is basically in the same size range. So they increased it at one point. Now they're going back to the original size of the so you can see they are smaller, but they're in line with the older size deluxes. So it's not that they totally decrease the size on everybody like everybody thinks. They just went back to the old size that they were using before. And as far as articulation goes, which I didn't really pull off yet, you have toe articulation because of transformation. You have a knee joint. You have a ball joint here on the hip, which will help you get some good poses. There's a no waist articulation. There's an elbow, some wrist, and some shoulder. And the head itself is on a swivel, not a ball joint. So that's Shockwave, and as you can see, even though he is smaller than the War for Cybertron, he is in line with older deluxes. So at one point they did increase him, but they only at certain times. So it depends on which figure you have, but for the majority, he's right in line with those. So this will end my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. All right. Well, thank you, and have a good day.